Okay, are you tired of hearing me talk yet? So, my throat's getting dry. Food challenges. We definitely had more of those at the intensive outpatient program. Inpatient, a lot of times it's just, you know, getting back to a clear head. Whereas the intensive outpatient, we got to really work through some of our issues. So, one challenge we had two therapists and the dietitian take us on a little trip to Taco Bell. There was maybe 6 or 7 of us from Capri. Taco Bell was a major fear food for a lot of people. Again, I probably ate Taco Bell 2 or 3 times a week at that point or prior. I guess the challenge for me was to not get the 3 or 4 items off the menu. So we were required to get 2 items from the menu, as well as get a soda, which again was a big fear food for a lot of people, and it had to be a regular soda, not diet. Again, fear food. So I did okay with that challenge. It didn't really bother me. And even having the 2 items at that point, I'd been there for over 60 days, well, close to 60 days. So my portion size compared to what I was having before was much less. So after that, we went to a thrift shop, and part of the challenge was a body image challenge. You had to try on at least one outfit. There was nothing in the store that would fit me. Big surprise. So, and you know, I told them that, and I said, whatever. I'm not going to get upset about it or make a big deal about it. But they did have a book section, and I love books, as you guys all know. So I came away with a ridiculous stack of books. I think there were like 12 books that I bought. So that made me happy, and I thought there was another part of the challenge, but I'm blanking on it. So for me personally, I had 2 different challenges. My first challenge was to go to the grocery store with the dietitian, and I had to fill my cart with 3 binge items or high calorie or high fat items that I would have had when I was at home. So cupcakes were a big deal, cookies, any sort of sweet. I've always been that sweet person. And so yeah, so I had to walk around with the cart full of sweet items for a while with the dietitian. So then the dietitian says, okay, well, we're gonna buy these. And so I said, okay. So we bought a package of Milano cookies, a package of cupcakes, a bag. This was around Halloween time, so we got a bag of Kit Kat bars, the fun size bars. And I thought there was something else. That's all I can remember. Maybe there were 4. I think there were 4 items, but I can't remember what the 4th one was. So, we bought them. We brought them back to the house. And so part 2 of my challenge was he filled the items put all the items into a basket and said I now had to carry around these food items with me all day and take them back to my room and see what happens. So they call it the binge basket challenge, and yeah, that was tough. Now here's something about me. I have a terrible time binging in front of anybody. I would never do that. It's very difficult for me to do that. So I kind of thought to myself, I have this aced, no problem, because there are people always around and I'm not going to do that in front of them. So they knew that. So they made sure that I took it with me when I was by myself back in my room. There was, at one point my roommate left, and so I was by myself in my room. And they also opened the bag of Kit Kats so that gave me even more of a chance to eat them. I know if the bag had stayed closed, I would have never broken that seal. But being that the bag was opened, that was more of a temptation to me because I could take one and no one would know. So the outcome was I did really good. Well, I guess good or bad. I guess it was good to me, but who knows? Whatever you want to consider good or bad. So the moral of the story is I did not eat any of it until the dietitian pulled me into, so this was the female dietitian. She pulled me into her office, says, "How's it going?" And I said, "Great, haven't had one bite." And it was kind of a, "Told you so, I can do this" type of, you know, attitude that I had. So she said, "Great, so here's what you're gonna do. We're about to have snack, so you're gonna eat your bag of cookies, your Milanos." And I said, "No, I'm not." And she said, "Yep, you are." And I said, "I can't, that's not on my meal plan." And she said, "You're gonna eat them." And so I said, "Do I have to eat them at the table with the other people?" And she said, "Yes." So that brought up all sorts of feelings because I was a bit, you know, humiliated. Of course not because of her, but because of me. You know, I don't want to eat those types of foods in front of anybody, especially a table full of underweight people that would never, you know, dream to eat anything like that. So I felt like it made me, you know, I felt like a fat person. And so she said I could eat the whole bag if I wanted, or I could eat one, but it was up to me. She wanted me to eat more than one because she said